We are in giant territory. Have you seen a giantess in her element? Because you're about to see it today. How are you guys today? I'm so happy to be with you guys today. I had something lined up to talk about with you guys today. I actually had two different topics. And then something cataclysmic happened. And I don't know how we cannot talk about it.
Okay.
And I know people say this, and it can be clickbaity. This is not clickbait. I just think because of the beliefs we have.
Explaining that the craziness of it.
No. What I'm about to say. Because of the worldview that we have here, we love the Lord with all our heart. I genuinely feel like there's an angle to this topic that I would like to discuss with y'all that I have not seen talked about. Maybe I'm sure someone's having this conversation, but I have not seen it at scale yet on all the commentary that I've watched. Like, I've been lost in this topic to the degree where I need to do my best to keep my thoughts focused. If you're a great guesser, or if you just simply read the title of this podcast, you know we're talking about the Dr. DisRespect nonsense that has happened. But before we do that, I want to say to the people who are new here, like, it is very nice to have you. We got to get you baptized into the chocolate family. So we do need to dip you in some chocolate, and we got Godiva, we got Seattle chocolate, we got Theo chocolate, we got endangered species. I don't recommend that one. Endangered species doesn't taste too good, but we got Hershey's if you got
some of them.
If you have your taste buds ripped off.
Delicious.
Some endangered species is delicious.
Yeah,
it's not, brother. It's not. My brother in Christ is not.
Okay.
But if you're new here, like, for real, I'm very happy to have you. We're very happy to have you. We hope we can just fulfill your dreams with content. And I just want to add to introduce myself. My name is Shate, and the lizard, the Iskar warrior, the what's the reptile people in Skyrim, or in more Elder Scrolls? Yo, I forgot what the lizard race is in Elder Scrolls. Shame on me.
The Egg Brothers?
There are Egg Brothers, but not the Egg Brother. The whole race is called the Egg Brothers? Well, her name is Lauren, because now she's trying to look up what the name of the species is.
Because it's annoying me, because it begins with an A.
Argonian.
Yes.
All you give me was that letter.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? So the Argonian sitting next to me is Lauren.
Since he doesn't know what species he's married to, we'll try to renew our vows soon.
Oh my
but yeah, living life well
oh
over
my
here
gosh.
as Egg Bros.
So the reason we set up this situation, and gun turrets, got the gun turret situated, the laser, the sight, iron sights, the scopes, all that set up this podcast. The reason we are here, two reasons. Let me just give them to you real quick, so that you could just either rock with us and be like, nah, I'm good.
Do you like skin?
Yeah, do you guys like skin? On the count of three. If you like skin, shout. We feel like, so on this podcast, we love the Lord with all our heart. Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior, Redeemer, faithful judge. I don't know if that's one of the descriptors of Jesus, but he definitely is. I don't know if that makes sense.
He's just adding to the Bible over here. Don't mind him.
Mighty tax collector, Jesus Christ. What the freak?
I was trying to go with, like, do you like skin in the game? Like,
got you. Respect.
I don't know. It was a deep dive there.
I got this ad for a juicy hamburger just sitting in my face right now. Anyways, we strongly feel on this podcast that the Christian culture in America is fragmented to a silly degree. There's just so much toxic infighting, so much alienating from one another, so much disagreements over stuff that just doesn't matter, or so much separating over things that, sure, you can disagree on that, but ain't no reason to create distance. So as we engage with topics that involve people who are in the family of God, people who worship Jesus, but may see things differently than us, we hope to just perpetuate an ethic that is inclusive of everyone in the family who belongs to the family. Because, like, I just wonder how much more we could get done if we were unified. And with that, because I feel like this is a byproduct of that, I guess. It may be the best word I can come up with. because we are so fragmented, I feel like there are a lot of people who don't know God who feel like they don't belong in the church because Christians don't act like that or whatever. Like, oh, my personality or the things I'm into, God's not cool with that. Because I know I felt that way. So hopefully in setting the precedent of like unity, people who don't know God might feel like they belong here because you definitely do.
This is perfect.
Yes, and we need you. We need you in the family of God. There are so many reflections of the character of God that I would love to see. Yes, that I would love to see in the family. That we just don't get to see because we're so twisted up. So
we love it when people who are not Christian human beings who are not the same as each other can meet, greet, play a game,
and
watch anime together, chill.
Yep. Well, we got Kat Von D this year, and that was a shock to many. But it's like, should that be shocking? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, Jesus reaches everyone, man.
So let's talk about what we came for.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Huge disclaimer: if you're already very familiar with the story, and I'm sure some of you are, please just bear with me. There are people who listen to this podcast who I know are not familiar with the story, so I need to get everyone caught up so you can understand the significance of why this has just like detonated the internet. So I'll try to make it as concise as possible.
Lean and tuck your little hands in like that. That's cute.
I'm gonna try and do this in 5 minutes. That's my target. 5 minutes.
Okay.
So if you do not know who Dr. DisRespect is, he is a content creator who plays games, but he is a different content creator. As an aside, I feel like Dr. DisRespect, and I would defend this very vociferously, I feel like Dr. DisRespect is one of the greatest content creators of this generation. So the reason I say that is because, and this is relevant, Dr. DisRespect is a persona that he created that's like this. Let me read his Twitter bio, actually. Let me read his Twitter bio.
Faster to get it done faster, FYI.
Okay, sure. Let me read his Twitter bio. Thank you.
You sound a little, I'm trying to track with you.
All right, sorry, I'll slow down.
I got old ears.
Auction
King over here.
Dr. DisRespect's Twitter bio says the most ruthless athletic competitor in video game history. His persona is very over the top, very eccentric, very like cocky, very like 80s vibes. He wears a red bulletproof vest, vibrant like gun range shades. He has a black mullet, mustache,
like a wig. Everything's just like props
on stream. Very charismatic. Genuinely funny, y'all. Like he's genuinely funny, and I say that because a lot of people who like do this persona thing, it's almost like it's so obnoxious. That's what gets it attention. Is like it's so obnoxious.
It's not. They're not embracing it like as a new character.
Exactly.
Like it's not them.
He's genuinely just like funny and has managed to like create this persona that is like
engaging.
It is
very warm, very personable. Even when he's being a fool and acting quote unquote disrespectful, he's still making you laugh, and you know he's like going over the top
because he doesn't take himself seriously. Yes. Like this is over the top,
and he's having fun. So it's like you're joining a bro being silly,
exactly,
watching him play his game.
And he is very good at games. Like his just like the world he's built, like the Dr. DisRespect world is like vaporwave. Retro 80s vibes. Like think like Chuck Norris, like that whole thing. Like he's just done a really good job creating like a universe, really.
Right.
So with that said, I genuinely think like artists, even after the situation we're going to talk about, he is someone that you can learn from and look up to. In regards to the creating
doing
content,
his thing quite well.
Exactly, doing something really well. Yeah.
Doing his thing that he's clearly good at and gifted in.
1000p.
And just running with it.
Yep.
And honestly, like furthering it because
100%. Yes, pushing
He's gotten bigger and bigger.
Yes,
and his boundaries were pushed on Twitch for sure.
So, as a result of all that, like he is like one of the biggest content creators doing gaming. Like period. Like there's very few content creators who are at that level. So the situation that I'm about to explain to you has impacted. It's not a stretch to say millions of people. All right, so some background. there's a streaming platform called Twitch. If you don't know what Twitch is, I'm not going to explain it anymore. You need to plug in a little bit more. It's like I'm playing up. Twitch. So Twitch is a platform that you stream. Most of it is gaming, but you can stream whatever you want. You could stream going out to dinner with your friends. You could stream.
There's people who have a bunch of cats and they like stream their cat room.
You could stream sleeping, which is insane to me.
Stream eating,
whatever. So it's a streaming platform.
cooking.
But it is primarily gaming.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Disrespect was on Twitch. That's kind of where he blew up. I think it is where he blew up, actually, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. He was on Twitch. Back in 2017, something happened.
Unbeknownst to anyone.
Correct. Nobody knew about this, but something happened in 2017. Fast forward 3 years later.
But no one knew in 2017.
That's what I'm saying.
Happened,
exactly.
right?
Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Yes. This was not
so
alerted
like
anybody.
something happened in his real life, off camera completely.
Yes, in 2017.
Secretly.
Resulting in a ban that happened 3 years later. So in 2020, Dr. Disrespect was banned from Twitch for the thing that happened in 2017. This resulted in like a lot of like, huh? It was a pretty
and angry people. They were
angry,
like, what'd you do?
Confused.
To get rid of my beloved doctor.
Because
I mean, genuinely, there was
and the thing that made it even more confusing is when this happened, Twitch paid out the rest of his contract. So you can imagine everybody was
They're
like,
after him for no reason.
Yeah, correct. And rightfully so. Everyone was thinking like, if y'all paid out his contract, like you,
and you took 3 years to do whatever you're
doing. Y'all are trifling.
Yeah,
right. This is not right. So Doc couldn't say anything about it. Twitch couldn't say anything about it. The whole thing kind of it was a speculation for 4 years. Fast forward to about yes.
So what did he do after he got kicked off Twitch?
Oh, my bad. Thank you.
Did he just give up on streaming or?
Man, look at you. Just come on. Somebody give Lauren a round of applause. I was about to leave you guys.
Do y'all.
Do y'all. That's real info right there.
I mean, she did give some real info.
That's real info.
That is real info. Yeah. So after he was banned from Twitch, he was off streaming for a minute, took a break, and then got back on YouTube. Got on YouTube.
Oh, okay, and just did the same thing.
Did the exact same thing, yeah, and it was within the same year.
Okay, so like under a year. Mm-hmm. And he just pretty much like gained his same following back.
Even more. No, I'm pretty sure he surpassed by a lot. So
man, we just came up
to have fun. He was on YouTube at about like 5 million subscribers, something like pretty close to that, right?
That's insane.
Fast forward to about a week ago.
Okay.
Someone who worked at Twitch, NDA ended, so non-disclosure agreement, and he posted a tweet. Hey, if y'all come to my show, like a rock show or something.
Oh, sure.
I'll let you guys know why Dr. Disrespect was banned from Twitch.
Dang.
So obviously, gums are flapping.
Just wanting to get famous.
Lava's flowing from people's mouths.
Yeah, yes. Someone's wanting to get famous off of the darkness that everyone's been wanting.
Yeah,
to know
or I don't know if he was kind of being silly, but it was like the sharks came out, right? Blood in the water.
I mean, that's not silly if he actually told the story.
Well. So I'm missing this piece of information. It got lost in just the countless hours of
fully valid. You did
digesting
spend
the story
all day yesterday on this, yeah.
But more than that. But at some point, he just spilled the beans on Twitter. So here's what happened.
Him being Dr. Disrespect himself.
No. This ex.
Oh, this
Twitter
person
this ex Twitch employee on Twitter said, "I know too many TWs." He said, and this is what happened. The reason Dr. Disrespect was banned from Twitch was because he was talking to a 17-year-old on Twitch Whispers, which is like a DM program or something on Twitch. And the things he was I almost said tweeting. I was like, what do I say? The things he was texting her were just straight up inappropriate. Okay. Now, at the time, the extent of the inappropriateness was not known, right? So people saw this tweet, and obviously the magnitude of this accusation is
so this is back in 2017.
Yeah, this was this is what happened in 2017.
That's being talked about a week ago.
Is what happened in 2017.
Okay,
he's revealing this is what caused the ban in 2020.
Sure, just trying to double check.
And then, so people, he's beloved, so people are like, Like, can we get some? Like,
Some
if this is true,
answers.
wow.
Yeah.
So, on the 25th, I
Mm.
think, or the 24th, and I'll let you guys hear it because it's
Just like a couple days ago.
quite
basically.
poetic.
Yeah.
Doc is playing the new Elden Ring expansion on YouTube, right?
Oh, the game you were crying that you weren't playing when
Last week. Last week. We listened to last week's episode. And yeah, I'm gonna let you hear this because it's poetic the way this happened. And by the way, y'all, here's what's freaky. What happened on stream where he found out like this is now public? The way it happened was like the exact same way it happened that he found out he was banned in 2020 on stream.
Wow, seriously?
Almost to the day, y'all. It was like June 29th that it happened in 2020.
Isn't that the devil traveling with him, man?
It's pretty crazy.
I feel
So I want y'all to notice something. He's on stream, right? So I'll play the YouTube video, the live stream. So he's on stream. He's having a great time, y'all.
Third try, and Baby Assassin brought me a little cupcake as a celebration.
Having a great time.
So I'm going to eat my cupcake, and there's nothing you're going to do about it, champ. Nothing.
And hearing this, y'all, hearing and seeing this is almost like, it's just very human right now, and it's almost sad. It is sad.
I'm going to eat my cupcake, and I'm going to celebrate. Nothing you're going to do about it.
Just having a good time. Right. Okay, so let me fast forward a little bit. So that happens, right?
getting little crumbs in his little mustache.
Mm-hmm. So that happens. Now, listen, y'all, to
when he starts to look down and look at his phone.
So he looks down and looks at his phone
for quite
here.
some time.
Yeah, here. Yes, right here. And now listen, y'all, to the music shift. It's almost like
the game knew
Stranger
what was
Than Fiction
going on.
vibes.
Yeah.
What about quest lines? I know, but you know how we run things here.
So he looks at his phone. What? No. So he's looking at his phone. I won't let you just listen to the silence because there's a long period of silence.
Yeah.
Followed by him, like, you know when you're trying not to cry and you kind of like move your mouth around, almost like you have to sneeze? He does this for about
a lot and touch your nose.
Yes.
And adjust the glasses.
Yep. For like a solid minute. And like it's
like 2 minutes.
I can only imagine that the text he got is like
probably very heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very heavy, right? So let me fast forward because he talks a little bit. I won't let you hear too much of it, but somebody on his stream catches wind, like, bro.
I mean, they're all watching him like go from
right.
happy eating a cupcake being, silly to that.
Right. So someone asked him, like, what's up?
Feeling a little burnt out. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys showing up. But I am serious when I say I'm feeling a little fatigued. You know? When shit like this happens over the weekend and...
He's talking about the tweet coming out. So... I'll let you hear a little more.
It just kind of... It's like how many times can I... I don't... Like I'm actually tired of being on social media, and I've expressed that over the years, champ. So I just, I've always kind of hinted like it'd be nice to get off and just completely separate, right? Go live in Costa Rica or something.
The roll R. We will return to that. We will return. Put a pin in that because I hate that I just said that. Put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. But I want to return to that because this is kind of my central thesis of what has not been discussed. I don't want to get off track. Yes. Speak, Elf. No, I don't have anything else to say. Please speak.
How does he go from like happy and in the stream, high energy, disappear. And then he's telling them, "I'm just going to be honest. I'm a little fatigued." There's no way they're that stupid. They know something from your phone made you upset, not just randomly. I go from like totally normal to. So shortly
after that, he tweets, and I'll read you just the relevant part of his tweet. Okay. So he responds to the allegation.
How many views did the tweet get?
Oh, yeah, this tweet, y'all. I mean, this is to continue if you're not familiar with him, to just let you taste the honey, taste the cupcake, dip your tongue in Wet paint. This tweet has been viewed as of like yesterday 114 million times.
Okay.
That's all you got to say. It's okay. So I'll just read you the relevant part of his tweet, responding to the allegations. Were there a Twitch whisper message with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Now, really quick, the first time he tweeted this, the word minor was omitted. I feel like that's not a good look.
That's not good.
Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes lean too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared. No crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear, it was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. Now, from a moral standpoint, I will absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. That's on me as an adult, as a husband and a father. It should have never happened. I get it. I'm not perfect, and I'll effing own my ish. This was stupid. I don't need to read anything else because some of this is like clapping back at, quote, haters. You know what? I'll give it to him. I do think there are some people who just don't like him for whatever reason.
Or they're just jealous of his fame.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. But I think there are some people who just love like seeing people of
fall.
Notoriety just crash and haha, are you hypocrite or whatever. And before we continue, because this discussion might sound
I'm not laying on the kids.
You are.
There's never been a better episode than this one for that clip. Some of the way this discussion might go, I don't want it to sound like I'm excusing or like.
Yeah.
So let me just say at the outset.
Okay.
What he's admitting to is very obviously inexcusable. Like, this is out of pocket, doesn't even begin to describe it. Like, in no world is it okay to even like,
if it's
flirt
not
with
illegal, it's highly immoral and unacceptable in every way.
Yeah, like the thought of flirting with a teenager is just like insane.
Yes.
And like you as an adult, like
especially as an adult famous person.
Yeah, there's
I
a
feel
power
like you
dynamic.
have extra.
It's like
yes,
you have a responsibility
to
to protect the kids that look up to you,
that want to know you just because you're you.
Like even thinking of my students, like I genuinely feel the ones that I have built relationships beyond teaching, I genuinely feel like a responsibility to like make sure they're safe and they're protected and they feel like I'm an adult they can trust. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because like that's so important, because you breaking their trust, it has such it has such long-lasting ramifications on their life. Whereas you as the adult have the benefit of like maybe
probably moving on.
Yeah, exactly, right. While they're
and processing and just being bye-bye.
Exactly, right. So I just want to be clear, like this is not okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
Yes.
Like, is there a note of disappointment and sorrow for the sake of him being so beloved and genuinely giving to the community and contributing versus like Cosby or
here's the part I struggle with. Here's the part I struggle with. Like by the way,
where's the line?
Yes. By the way, the Twitter thread here, like I mean, it's just a sampling of the comments you can imagine, but like bro casually passed off talking to a minor as a normal thing. You know what? I'm not going to evaluate whether the tweet the follow-ups are in the right or not. Just it's a level of crucifixion that I've just never seen.
There's sexual harassment is part of culture.
Lauren with the best audio clips. Another person writes, "There's no excuse for this. Even my worst day, you'd never see me talking to a child." Yeah, fair enough. Another one writes, "Dr. Disrespect when it's about minors, but it's a picture. I don't really understand this one. It's like a picture of a bunch of Asian people in a courtroom. I'm not sure." Certified child lover. Here's the funny thing. This is like the worst. I mean, there's never a good time to do this, but like this is the worst summer to have this come out because we just came off the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef, which was about the same thing. So everyone's got their jokes ready.
That was about that.
Yeah, like Kendrick really went in on Drake. If you don't know, again, if you just don't live on planet Earth, I guess
I don't.
Kendrick Lamar went in on Drake.
I mean, I'm Argonian, so
you're right.
We've established
you have better things. You're
probably
right.
not doing that.
You are right.
I'm hatching eggs.
You're right, man. I'm sorry.
I'm selling moon sugar with my Khajiit friends.
Oh my gosh. Which that beef, Kendrick really went in on Drake having some highly sus interactions with underage people again. So same situation.
Oh, again? Like that's happened.
No,
before?
I'm saying like as well.
Okay.
Someone else is like, the NFL let this man announce a draft pick. I mean, other people writing, I'm incredibly disappointed in you. How could you? The funny thing is, y'all, and this is, let's edge into this.
Okay.
This, how could you? I have noticed, y'all, with this, because of the impact he has had on so many people, and I will answer the Cosby question, because that is a very good question. There's like a level of grief and like sadness that I feel like hasn't really been acknowledged or talked about. So, because I thought about this too. I was thinking like, why am I not as quick to like, I don't know what the word is, not be harsh, but like, why do I feel this sadness for him, even though he's 100% in the wrong?
Yeah.
I think, and you can disagree with this, and that is totally fair. But I think the level of crime or the level of wrongdoing is at the degree where there's like still so like with Cosby, like what you did to these women is so out of pocket, so heinous.
Yeah.
You showed like no regard for human beings.
Yes,
that like
exactly.
I don't know what consideration I can have for you other than you need to pay for your crimes in jail.
Right.
Now, you could argue after the punishment has been meted out, yeah, then you could follow up with a certain level of compassion. I'm not saying people aren't worthy of compassion amidst wrongdoing, but there needs to be a certain level of, I guess, repentance or whatever I would say as a Christian. Should be some repentance. Otherwise, until that point, there should be a call to repentance or a call for you to acknowledge what you have done and for you to hopefully see that the things that you've done, whatever. I guess in this case with Dr. DisRespect, I don't know what it would take for him to maybe start to get in people's good graces, but it wouldn't be as much as someone like Cosby, if that makes sense.
No, I would agree.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm also asking these questions for myself because
you're wondering like how to
why
think
do I
it.
feel some kind of softness towards this, but
yeah,
I'm not knowing if I should because I'm like with Cosby and like Michael Jackson and other people,
Mike Jack,
I've been like, you're 100% tainted,
right?
Like, for me,
or R. Kelly is
like,
another one.
I'm just
Puff
like,
Daddy is another one, or Diddy.
I'm just like, no, thank you.
Yeah,
I have a hard time even thinking back fondly now on your stuff.
Yeah, it's like you're weird versus I'm calling the police.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, like I'm calling a psychiatrist and you need help and you're weird.
Versus I'm calling
I will karate chop you and shove a board in your face. Like there's a difference.
And hold your hands behind your back as I wait for police to arrive.
That is disgraceful.
Hold a knife to your throat as I wait.
Him.
Yeah, and I think in trying to evaluate how to respond to things morally, you actually can't just categorize everything. Like it would be irresponsible to just treat all interactions with people underage the same. You know what I mean? Like,
I see what you're
there's
saying.
a difference between sexually abusing somebody and flirting with somebody. Please hear me out. Both are
highly unacceptable.
But if I had to choose, if it was this is even like a crazy thought, but if I had to choose, someone offered, hey, this is going to happen to your child, which would you prefer? Everyone's picking flirting, right?
Yeah, that's
because
true.
There's an acknowledgement that it's just not as bad, right?
It's not going to be as impactful.
It's still yucky, and you're still going to...
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
yeah, please.
I don't need to know this, but there's also there's so much strangeness and obscurity to it that it's not really lending well to understanding the situation.
Okay, so some more clarity has been offered.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Let me read you
because why didn't if this underage person...
Let me read you. Let me read you because
okay,
clarity on like the nature of what happened.
They didn't exchange pictures. They didn't do any of that. Blah blah blah. Supposedly, I mean, maybe you're gonna already revamp that.
Yes,
but if they revealed that they're a minor, why didn't did they do that because they wanted Dr. Disrespect to keep talking to them, but not in a weird way?
So here's what I don't
like,
understand.
why didn't they just say goodbye then?
Here's what I don't understand.
Like, if they are 17, I know a 17-year-old is a young person, and there's the power thing.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're capable of saying, whoa, I'm a minor, your brain is clicking in a weird way. Why didn't you just leave?
Yeah. It might be the power thing. Like, oh, my gosh, I'm talking to Dr. Disrespect. That would be the only thing I could think of.
No, and I say these things, and I've even, like, said certain situations of, like, sexual harassment that I've been in, and playing it back later, and I'm like, why didn't I ...
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's like, in the moment, you do feel powerless sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
So
continue.
There
with
was
your
a follow-up
fresh
because
follow-up.
a Twitch employee who has also been speaking now, because a couple of them have been speaking out.
Okay.
Said not everything that Doc said in his tweet was accurate. So this person, this is according to this is from a Rolling Stone article, and I'll link it in the description of the podcast. Okay. But he says, from Rolling Stone, a former Twitch trust and safety employee who worked for the platform at the time, Bayham, that's Dr. Disrespect's real last name. Guy
Mayhem
Bayham.
is?
Guy Bayham. Guy Beam? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, okay. I thought you said mayhem. I was like,
Who worked for the platform at the time, Guy was banned and has direct knowledge of the matter. Confirmed to Rolling Stone that Bayham continued to send sexually graphic, so this is not flirting, messages to a minor he knew to be underage. The former employee who requested anonymity to avoid jeopardizing their career also said that crucial elements of Guy's latest defense tweet are inaccurate. So this is a direct quote. I recall that Dr. Disrespect was made aware by the individual that they were underage during the conversation, after which he indicated that this was no problem and continued on. The former employee says, there was no confusion. Messages sent after this was acknowledged were no less graphic and sexually explicit in nature.
Between both of them?
Than before. I don't know. He doesn't say. And I think more than the categorization of leaning too much in the direction of being appropriate might indicate. So they're saying
then why didn't he get reported and go to jail then?
Okay, so here's a big question. He didn't go to jail because I guess he truly didn't break any laws, I guess.
Well, I mean, if it's graphic text, is that not breaking the law?
I don't know. I think it's a state-by-state thing.
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
that scares me if that's true.
I do wonder, like, just think about this. And this remains a question mark because Twitch has been silent.
Did they also, I'm so sorry, did they say that person, the underage person, worked for Twitch too?
No.
Oh.
17 working for Twitch? That's crazy.
I don't know. Prodigy. An intern?
Prodigy vibes. Prodigy vibes.
Oh, okay.
I don't understand why Twitch waited 3 years to ban Doc. If they knew everything that happened in 2017,
I question them. Yes.
I don't know what
are you?
That's a
on?
huge question mark.
Like, and why did you pay him out? Why reward him and wait that long?
Could have been. Well, the payout thing could have been like a contractual thing. I don't want to obsess over trying to figure that question out because I mean, who knows? But it is irrelevant.
I'm not trying to obsess over it. That's just weird.
It is a relevant question. Now, what I really would like to get into, with all of that just onslaught out of the way, there's a grief that I have noticed among people who were friends with Doc, who watched his content, and so on, that I don't feel like is being acknowledged or even like empathized with, because people just they love the king falling vibes or whatever, or maybe they didn't like, I don't know, for whatever reasons. But I think I feel really sad for everybody who has been part of his community all these years. And it's even reflected in some of the comments on that video. I mean, this is 1 minute ago. Someone posted "rip" with a sad face. Someone else wrote here. I screenshotted some actually. Someone else wrote, "Thanks for the memories, Doc." I mean, that's just freaking sad.
That's sad.
Thank you, Doc. Another person wrote, "Gonna miss this version of Doc. It'll never be the same again. It's like he passed away." It honestly feels like that.
It does.
And these
he was untainted and pure and just gaming and being normal.
And these are like, his audience was fairly young. I mean, I'm sure the age range was all over the place, but I know there were a lot of young people that watched his content. Someone else wrote fun while it lasted. This is just sad, y'all.
I have a question along these lines too.
Okay.
Continue.
No, go.
Do you feel like it's extra sad when you're thinking of it being a streamer versus some other kind of celebrity? Because I feel like it's almost more intimate with streamers because you're inviting them into your own home space specifically for long periods of time, and they're being like in real life, quote unquote, in real time. So it's kind of like you're doing something while they're doing something at the same, like it's live. The thing, so it kind of feels different.
The thing that I think is more impactful than like if it was like,
just a celebrity in a movie or a show. I
was trying to name that dude. Freaking forgot his name. Yeah, okay. So just pick a celebrity who's popular.
Yeah, I don't think you need
SZA, SZA, whatever her name is. Like, streamers inherently invest a lot more personally in their communities.
That's what I feel like too.
And Doc did a great job building a community and streaming multiple hours a day on end, streaming with other people.
Like I feel like it's harder work than
like hanging out with the boys, like him, Nick Merckx, Tim the Tap Man, all other big streamers.
Yeah.
Like when you watch these streamers, we're all vibing around the same thing. He's responding to my donations. He sees what I wrote in the chat. Like, there's just things here and there like that.
No, yeah, it's more personable.
Typical parasocial relationship.
Yeah.
So when something like this happens,
on cloud 9. I've been on cloud 9. I'm still on cloud 9.
Doc said thanks for my $5.
Cloud 9 is over.
And I'm on cloud 9.
But I feel like, listen.
Yeah, it's true. I think 9 has floated away in this scenario.
People have a right to people have a right, I guess, to
mourn.
Or what? Not that part. Well, that too. But people have a right, I think, to criticize what happened because it's very bad.
Yes.
But I think that has overshadowed people who are struggling with this because of the parasocial relationship they had to him. Like, I even saw people coming at Nick Merckx for just saying, like, I hope this isn't true.
Oh my gosh.
Like, calling him an enabler. Like,
okay, if you
have
Nick
Merckx is his real life friend.
Yes. I was going to say, if you have a friend who does something, like, horrifying, of course you wish that it wasn't true.
If any of my friends did something like this and even had to go to prison, they don't cease to be my friend. I have an obligation to, if I gotta look bad, that really sucks. I'll be as clear as I can.
That you don't condone what they're doing, exactly.
Yeah, you
can't like take the care back that you have from years past.
Exactly. Like I still want you to be restored. I still want you to be reconciled to God.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not what these guys are thinking, but like I have a responsibility as much as I'm able to see that your soul is cared for so that you can you're also a prisoner of sin. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, obviously.
Right. And Doc definitely. Yeah, yes. Doc is definitely a prisoner. Because, by the way, if you don't know, and some of you don't, this is not the first time he has been unfaithful in his marriage. So clearly there's like something going on that has a hold of him.
Yeah.
And it's sad because going back to, I've said it's sad because about a million times, and if I say it again, I'm gonna DM all of you guys a location to meet me at. And yes, you have the option to take me out.
Uncle Murder warning to you.
Uncle Murder warning
to you, sir. It's extra scary. Just think of a big hairy uncle threatening murder.
Yo, oh my gosh. So. Imagine, oh yes. So earlier when we listened to the clip where he was having a great time eating a cupcake.
Yes.
Saying
they can't do nothing about it.
Literal frosting in his mustache. 2 seconds later saying, you remember how I said I kind of been flirting with
getting off of socials and it's
inappropriately texting the idea of getting off social media.
Oh my gosh.
Was that inappropriate?
No.
I've been thinking about getting off social media, right? Here's something that, for my Christian family, let me talk to my Christian family for a sec.
Oh, yeah, he's dead.
I have even seen this in my own life. But this is such a vivid example of this.
Okay.
There is a way that sin will have you second guessing like your calling, what you were made to do.
That's true.
In a way that if you weren't messing with this thing, you would be locked in and
more energized.
You would have have a rocket propulsion. And because it's like, what other explanation is there for you having a gay old time to suddenly questioning like everything? You know what's about to happen. And you know that is somewhere deep down inside, you know, this is because of something I did and I can't get away from the sin because, I mean, that is the nature of sin. To quote a very popular Christian quote, sin will take you further than you want to go, deeper than you want to dive, or like heavier than you want to breathe. Something like that. Something about sin, like you think you got control of it, but it's you're the one on the leash, on the doggy leash.
I'm standing strong in love.
Amen. Amen.
AKA sin.
Correct. And I guess like
if it's love of bad worldly things.
This is like I don't mean to. I'm genuinely not saying this to like just be generic. Like this is a teachable lesson.
Wow.
Nor am I saying this because I kind of hate when like there's a Christian pastor who does something bad and then you hear like, oh, but for the blood of Christ, there I go too. Like, no.
I guess not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I think Christians will say this, and it's almost like you're excusing the behavior. Like, well, it could have been me. Well, I hope not.
I do hate that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, trying to be relatable and sound like, we all mess up.
Exactly, right?
It's like, who knows? I could just have killed my brother too. I mean, I don't know.
I could have just murder-suicide my whole family.
If you made me mad while I was eating cereal, whoops.
Exactly. But that said,
something else has got to be inside you already settling.
Exactly. Correct. Yes, you got to. Yeah. Not everybody has the homicide, Patras family
this is
side.
The fastest cashier I know.
Not everybody's got the cashier dream.
And he gets down.
Not everybody's
He
got
don't
the cashier
play.
dream.
I mean,
but
sin's like that. Devil gets down. He don't play. You know what I'm saying?
It's the thing that I wanted to highlight is like there are sins that if you are not actively.
I'll stop disrupting.
No. What are you talking about? You're not. No, you're not. It's not distracting. There are sins that are if you're not actively taking to the Lord, confessing to the Lord, if needed, getting help from friends, especially if these sins
true.
have
if needed, smart.
Especially if these sins have a relationship to the work you do directly, or could somehow infringe on it.
Sure. Like his, obviously.
Right, exactly.
Because he has access to multiple people who love him for no reason.
Exactly. Yes.
Or for a reason of him doing well. Right, you know what I mean?
Right. This is how you end up with your entire purpose being destroyed. Because it just make like you see the impact it's had on his followers. Like these people literally just like mourning the loss of their hero.
Yeah.
It's like you were intended to positively affect the lives of people, you were intended to inspire people, all the cheesy stuff that you say, but like that he was actually doing.
But he was doing, honestly. It's
actually sad, and my heart genuinely goes out to the people who are just like, my favorite streamer may never stream again, and even if he does,
I don't know if I want to watch him and engage with him the same, honestly.
Exactly, right? Like, there is a true death of some kind that sin has produced. It has perhaps not killed your career, but it has killed an aspect of your purpose.
It's leveled it down.
Yeah, it was kind of like when Mark Driscoll got removed from our church. It's like, yeah, maybe he's preaching again, but like it was never the same, and you kind of went back down the same path again.
Yeah.
Not that I don't want to paint the image that like people are irredeemable. Like there's certain things you do where you're irredeemable, but it's like
no, but
yeah,
I would say if you have a particular sin that you're aware of, okay, and say that you're not a Christian. Let's use terms that are a little bit more. Yeah, but let's just use a term that's like not sin.
Okay, sure.
So
vice.
Sure, vice or
bad thing.
Vice is a good one, actually.
Okay.
So say you're just a regular Joe. You know your vices.
So you don't know the Lord.
They tend to be something that can be unfortunately like very easy to access because of your career and because of what you do.
Sure.
If you, where the heck was I going with this? You totally threw me off when you. Yeah, I'm not interruptible.
I didn't interrupt you.
No, I'm just like, it's not fair because I interrupt you like crazy. It just any word. It's like totally throws me off.
I didn't interrupt you, did I?
It's okay. You were mumbling a joke and I didn't get it.
No, I didn't
In the beginning, and I was trying to listen.
I didn't.
It's okay.
I didn't. Okay,
No,
well,
I have no idea where I was going with that. What were you saying before that?
I don't think I was saying anything. I just wanted to hear what you had to say.
Can you give me a minute?
Well, you were talking about even if you don't know the Lord, if there's a vice that you have, were you going to say even you should be working on trying to stop doing that thing? Or, I mean, because that's still good advice. Audience, can you lift your hands in prayer towards the podcast and just start praying? And hopefully your prayers will go back, and if you know the Lord, your prayers will go back in time and cause Lauren to remember what she was going to say.
Oh my gosh. Well, probably wasn't that deep and meaningful. It's okay. Just take over. Take it back. I got nothing.
Are you sure?
I would have to like sit here for 5 minutes quietly. So tally ho. I'm not capable today. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
I can't think and like listen. It's just not going to happen for me.
Well, here's another thing I would just offer for you guys' consideration. This is tricky. This might sound, I don't know. I don't want this to sound weird.
Thank you, love, by the way, for being patient.
You bet.
And I wasn't like saying you were bad for telling your joke or whatever you were saying.
So this was on the 20th. This is a tweet from the 25th, the day that like the tweet came out in. This was under the tweet of one of Doc's friends who was clearly distraught, visibly distraught on camera. Someone wrote, "The dude made a mistake and it's really between him and his wife. This wouldn't have come out if there wasn't some random disgruntled ex-employee who broke an NDA." I understand what this person means. Here's the only problem. I think you as an entity, Twitch, have a responsibility. If someone is doing something that jeopardizes, I guess we'll just say minors, you kind of have an obligation
you do
make sure this does not happen to anyone.
Yeah.
If this means outing them, you kind of have to, because
I don't understand why that wasn't, because probably YouTube had no idea. I would
assume.
No.
The funny thing is, Dr. DisRespect was not allowed to have a contract with YouTube because of this situation. So YouTube knew the situation as well. Okay. So when he jumped to YouTube, they couldn't offer him a contract because they knew what had happened.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So you're saying the public should have been made aware so that we
possibly,
could kind of
probably
consume his content with more.
Well, it's more like what you are doing. We don't know if you're going to do this again.
Yeah.
So honestly, for your sake, but for the sake of people who may interact with you,
consume your content.
This has to be public. And it sucks because I do feel like there is something to the fact that like the Bible verse of like covering sins, right? And not hiding sins. I'm not saying hiding sins. I'm saying like you confess this, okay, we don't need to embarrass you.
Right.
I just think in this case it's a little different. Someone else wrote, "Tim, none of us can fathom how hard this news is. You knew him on a personal level and let him very close into your life. You've always been such a great light to the online space. Please take care of yourself. We all love you, homie."
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, it's just like there's just this grief, this like wave of grief among a lot of the community.
Yeah.
That is, I'm very sympathetic to it.
I am too, but like the one dude who is his homie saying that is just wrong.
What?
Because
Saying
it's
what?
not just in between him.
It's
and
not.
his wife.
You're right. It's not. It isn't.
It's also in between him and this other family.
The minor, and
you
the
know what I
minor's
mean?
family.
And obviously, it either came out because the minor felt so uncomfortable they let someone know.
Yeah.
Or someone in their life realized they were unsafe and like stepped in. So obviously, it got brought out in some kind of way, or it would have just been buried for many more years.
So There's
did we talk at all about like just legacy and like
how he'll be remembered?
Yeah, but also it's interesting because I feel like you can't really. I feel like saying I want to leave a good legacy. I think that's really an empty phrase for Christians. For Christians, and
the obsession over legacy.
There's a Bible verse about it even.
Yeah, about people forgetting who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. It's in Proverbs or Psalms or Ecclesiastes. One of those.
It's
Proverbs or Ecclesiastes. One of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think honestly, sometimes the fascination over legacy in Christian circles to me is just kind of like just be quiet,
actually
bro.
quite unbiblical too.
Quiet.
Because if you're thinking about it, it's more like, how can I as an individual be remembered for blah, blah, blah?
Yeah.
And it's like, that doesn't actually bring light to...
Well,
I mean, maybe for the sake of God sometimes,
it's a weird thing to obsess over.
It
like,
is. But
there will be other people who can do the things you did in a contemporary setting.
Yeah.
That they might even do it in a way
more
that's
effectively.
a better application.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But I was going to say...
I guess to the legacy, you're saying to the legacy, his legacy?
I'm just saying, just the whole concept of like legacy tainted, whatever.
I think that kind of goes to...
I feel like it matters more how you impact individuals.
I think that goes to...
And that's why this is painful.
I feel like this is such a, like, the devil is so insidious in how he is able to destroy much more than you could even imagine.
I know. That's
because
a very good point. And it's very sobering, honestly.
It is. It's very sobering.
Because it's like, yes, I won't necessarily feel the slip up with something like this. That's not my sin issue, but
you just have no idea
definitely
how your inner life will affect the lives of so many people. And this is like the most, this unique set of circumstances is like the most visceral example of like sin truly affects lives who aren't even necessarily directly connected to the thing that happened.
I know.
And it's like
very true.
It's just very sobering. Like,
it spreads out.
Please remember, the devil is much more evil than you realize. Sin is much more evil than you realize. Even just the thought of like making somebody, like, I guarantee you there are some people who had a hard day after hearing this. Even just that little thing is just like, wow.
Oh, for sure.
It's not his responsibility. But
it's not his responsibility how people take that. It is.
Okay, respect.
If you're on a huge platform and you know that people are consuming your life as the consumption, that's why you kind of have to hold yourself to a different standard.
You having the platform is like a pact you have made.
Its responsibility.
Yeah, okay, I respect that.
So it's not like
you can't have the benefits and then not also have the consequences.
Yes,
yeah,
and kind of more thoroughly.
Yeah,
because it's not like a situation where it's a pastor has more responsibility because you dedicated your life to God, because that's true.
It's like you can't say I want to impact lives, but I want to live the way I want to live. Yeah, that's very fair. That's very fair.
Also on like just a intermarital social level, you can't say I want to stay married after cheating on my lady and then cheat again.
Yeah,
I mean, like, that doesn't communicate that you're caring about that status.
All that to say, y'all,
quite
I feel like
sorry,
Lauren. Sorry.
No, I'm mumbling.
I feel like I've emptied the tank.
I'm so sorry, sweetie. I feel like earlier I don't know. I don't.
You have this thing that you do where you just feel like you're. I just don't feel like I get through a podcast anymore where I haven't said everything I have to say. So you really don't have to apologize ever.
Okay.
I think it's just a self-conscious thing.
Maybe. I'm just tired.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I really feel like the thrust.
I will be scroll healing.
Afterwards.
The component that I feel like nobody is really giving light to is like the grief this has caused.
Yeah.
Sure, it's caused outrage, but it's caused a lot of grief, and that is worthy. That's worthy of compassion for those who are just bummed out. And you don't, like, our culture is just so...
Like, if you're compassionate, then you're also condoning. And that's not true.
It's not true, and it's like...
That's actually not true. It's even like being sad for a mom of a murderer. Are you never supposed to give them food? Are you never supposed to stop to talk to them and check on them?
That's a great analogy.
Like
being pissed
sad.
at the mom, like says, I'm going to support my son no matter what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with, like, that doesn't mean mom says the murder was okay.
No. But they literally birthed
that's someone's
you
son.
And like
that's like
you raised them.
You saying like WTF at someone crying at their son's execution. Yeah, because their son is being executed.
Yeah. I mean, because there are people out there who are heartless like that.
Yeah,
and that is our culture, unfortunately.
Well, or like the family of the murdered, maybe having some level of like satisfaction seeing the grief of the mom. Like, well, now you know the grief I've been caused. Yeah. And I don't think that's something to be happy about. Like, it is. There's a level of justice in that, I guess.
I mean, if the mom was like grooming him to murder people,
right?
There's
exactly.
Like, there's like a whole different scenario with that.
Pawns on a chessboard.
She's been silently torturing him for years, hoping that he would crack and turn into the perfect machine. I finally created
abusing him until he finally got the guts to take it out on someone else. Yeah, it's fair. So
we've turned warped.
I guess in your moral reasoning,
yes,
please don't forget that, like, in your quest for vengeance.
Which this is for me because I'm an insane justice-oriented person.
The disdain you feel can blind you to the lives that are affected at scale
amen
over
to
something
that, brother.
like this.
I take that.
Huh?
I just am saying amen to that. I'm taking that.
Like, you have to. It's you know what's about Bible verse that I think is
on the other side.
Bible verse I think is two relevant Bible verses. Number one, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Second, when God says that he does not rejoice over the death of the wicked, I feel like that is very instructive. Like, if even God doesn't rejoice when Hitler was slain, holy crap, what does that say about God's heart for humanity? That's like an unrelatable level of compassion.
Yeah.
Or holiness that, like, you gotta figure out what that means. And 100. I think there's some application here with that.
100.
Like, I'm happy that yeah. Anyways, okay. Save the best for last. Thank y'all. Thank you for getting. If you made it, if you're here with us, thank you for getting
there.
Yeah, because this was a little bit like last week where there was just a lot. But I
know. I feel like we need to do a game show next time or something.
I did want to get to what I thought was the underbelly of this whole thing.
We can carry it over to next week if you're.
No. I'm saying I'm glad we did. Because I haven't seen this discussion. Yeah, I had not
felt like
seen
you
this
got
discussion.
to it. Okay.
And I wonder if anybody else was feeling this way, or maybe now you are thinking about it. Cool. Well, okay. I super duper love you guys. Super duper duper love you guys.
Love you.
And we'll see you next week with some more banging content.
Love you guys.